बांग्लादेश की करेंसी नहीं गिरती है, पाकिस्तान की करेंसी नहीं गिरती, श्रीलंका की करेंसी नहीं गिरती। क्या कारण है हिंदुस्तान का रुपया पतला होता जा रहा है?
डॉलर के सामने रुपया ताकत के साथ खड़ा हो, इसके लिए कोई योजना कर पाएंगे, ये तो कुछ नजर नहीं आ रहा है।
रुपये की कीमत जिस तेजी से गिर रही है कि दिल्ली सरकार और रुपये के बीच में कंपटीशन चल रहा है।
एक डॉलर के सामने और ये वर्तमान अर्थशास्त्रियों की सरकार ने डॉलर के सामने रुपया गिरता गिरता 60, कभी 62, कभी 65, कभी 67 गिरता ही चला गया।
देश जानना चाहता है प्रधानमंत्री, ऐसा क्या कारण है कि आज अकेला हिंदुस्तान का रुपया डॉलर के मुकाबले गिरता ही चला गया और क्यों चला?
Hello friends. May 8th can be called one of the blackest days in the history of Indian economy as the Indian rupee fell to 77.60 rupee in front of the US dollar. Although this has been happening for the past 6 months, this was the all-time lowest. In today's video, let us look at what this means and what effect this can have on normal Indian citizens. Before we move ahead, please subscribe to the Upfront and press the bell icon to get the notification of all our updates. I'm Nihal Mohammed and you're watching the Upfront. What this means is that from whichever country India imports goods through dollar as the currency, the rate of goods will increase. This suggests that the rate of petrol and other goods which are imported will increase. This means that foreign investors will start thinking twice before investing in India as its currency value is dropping continuously. This suggests that the health of the Indian economy is very poor and gradually deteriorating. This proves that claims made by the government and its supporters are only words spoken in air which have no truth. Our claims of being Atmanirbhar are clearly seen to be false, as the saying "Doodh ka doodh or pani ka pani." Everything is very clear that it is not possible that our own currency value goes down on one side and we boast about being Atmanirbhar on another. Now if you question as to can we decide that a nation's economy is in poor health only because its currency is falling in comparison to dollar, then you need not listen to me. You can listen to the PM of our country speaking in 2013 during Lok Sabha election rallies at a time when Indian currency was falling down rapidly but not as rapidly as today.
जिस प्रकार से डॉलर मजबूत होता जा रहा है, रुपया कमजोर होता जा रहा है, विश्व व्यापार में भारत टिक नहीं पाएगा। हमारे अड़ोस पड़ोस में छोटे देशों को भी डॉलर के मुकाबले में कोई नुकसान नहीं हो रहा है। देश जानना चाहता है प्रधानमंत्री, ऐसा क्या कारण है कि आज अकेला हिंदुस्तान का रुपया डॉलर के मुकाबले गिरता ही चला गया और क्यों चला गया? और मैंने साफ मांग की है, ये सिर्फ आर्थिक कारणों से नहीं हुआ है, ये आपकी भ्रष्ट राजनीति जो चली है दिल्ली से, उसका इसके अंदर बहुत बड़ा रोल है। बहुत गंभीरता से आरोप लगा रहा।
You might have seen how our PM had said that the reputation of India is falling along with the Indian currency back then in 2013. Then the question is very simple, Mr. PM. Is it not that the rupee has further fallen 15 to 20 rupees today? Is it not true that the Indian currency has dropped an all-time high now? Can you deny this truth? More hilarious is the next video of Mr. Nalin Kumar Katil, MP from the coastal city of Mangalore and the BJP president of Karnataka. In a video bite from a canvassing speech in Kerala, he says that a time will come when Indian rupee costs 15 rupees to $1 and goes on to say that bring us to power for only 2 years and PM Modi will make sure that we get $15 for 1 rupee.
ಈಗ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ $1ಗೆ 60 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ 2 ವರ್ಷದ ನಂತರ $1ಗೆ 15 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಿಗುವ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರು ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕದ $ಗೆ 15 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಾವು $1ಗೆ $15 ಕೊಡುವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
People were very progressive about the change in government as they were fed up with all the corruption in the UPA era and finally wanted a change. Maybe this was the reason that BJP leaders could lie so easily as seen in the video before. Now let us look as to how we can prevent the fall of the Indian rupee in comparison to the US dollar. First of all, we need to understand that this directly impacts us. When this happens, we need to question ourselves as to how little should I eat? How much more should I walk instead of using petrol? How much more savings should I make? Because the fall of Indian rupee for sure impacts all these fields. Now let us look at this from a historic point of view. Remember one thing, that it is a lie that at the time of independence, the Indian rupee and the US dollar valued the same. It was never so. At the time of independence, $1 valued at 4 Indian rupees approximately. But gradually with time, due to various wars that we fought with China and Pakistan and the financial burden we had to bear thanks to these wars, and also the increase in food imports due to droughts, led to an increase in the value of US dollar in comparison to Indian rupee. And then in 1973, when petrol prices increased, we were forced to decrease the value of Indian rupee, because in order to purchase petrol from Saudi Arabia, we had to do it in US dollars as they were universally acceptable. So in order to buy US dollars, we were forced to historically bring down the price of rupee. Another point that we cannot deny is that our dependence on Western nations has never decreased after freedom, be it in Congress era or in Janata Dal era or in any other party's rule. Buying petrol was our need and we could not stop doing it. We received a loan from the IMF for the second time in 1993 when Chandrasekhar Rao and PV Narasimha were the prime ministers. This loan was known as a structural adjustment loan. One of the conditions of this loan was that from now onwards the market will decide the value of Indian rupee and not the Indian government. The repercussions of this condition is very much visible in the graph. The value of $1 to 1 Indian rupee, which was 17 rupee in 1900, went to a high of 43 rupees approximately in 2000. When the power to decide the value was given to the market, the value went on to increase by 2.5 times than before. So this shows that the claims of BJP are only utopia and far from the truth. BJP made various claims about the value of INR to US dollar and came to power boasting that they will increase the reputation of the country. Now in 2014, when BJP came to power, the value of $1 was 58 rupees, and on May 8th it reached an all-time low after independence to 77.60 rupees to $1. Not even for one moment the promises of BJP came true. Instead, the direct opposite kept on happening. Now how will this affect us? The dependence on the West, especially on America, which was started by the Congress, has never stopped, and after PM Modi came to power, this has been rapidly increasing and the rupee value went down 18 to 20 rupees. This means that we are no Atmanirbhar and we have been exporting various products from various nations across the globe. Any nation's economy is said to be flourishing when the exports are more than imports. Because of this, our foreign reserves will increase, meaning that rupee value will increase and we can trade with other countries using these foreign reserves. But never in our independent history has this happened. Never has our exports been more than our imports. If this continues, then in the last financial year, the deficit between our exports and imports have doubled when compared to the previous financial year. In the time period when we started boasting around the slogans of Atmanirbhar, our dependence on other countries has increased, which is very clear from this chart. In this time period, due to the Ukraine-Russia war, there is a lot of economic instability in the world. Our greatest source for dollars is the money invested in stocks and in industries in India. The money put in industry is for a time and maybe in India for a long time. But the money invested in the stock market can be taken back any any time if the person feels that he can earn more elsewhere, or that India is not a perfect place to invest due to political and economic instability. To prove this point, we see a report by Business Standard which says that foreign investors have pulled out rupees 17,696 crores from the Indian markets since December so far. The reason behind this pullout is that the increasing tensions in India, political issues, communal riots, etc. made the investors feel that India is not a safe market to invest money, and the Ukraine issue further deteriorated the scenes. The investors prefer to invest in markets where interest rates are high, and it is seen that one of the reasons behind RBI increasing the rate of interest is this. But to our bad, America increased their interest rate on the same day, and it does not seem that the situation may become better, at least not until the Ukraine war ends and people from all religions stop fighting with each other. This will make sure that the dollar value further increases and India continues to face this. If we have to buy anything from outside, it is important that we have dollars with us. In the last year, India has imported more than it has exported from China. As dollars in the RBI decreases, it will become more difficult to purchase or export goods from outside the country. If this continues in the same phase, if not very early, we will reach the situation of Sri Lanka. If we see at Sri Lanka, the reason behind the situation of theirs is the neglect they showed to Tamilians and the war that followed for 28 years. Recently, attack on Christians and Muslims have also increased in Sri Lanka. The same pattern we can see in India also. Right-wing nationalism has created an environment of fear in the country. I'm not saying that the same will happen in India, but if this continues, that day is not far away. This drop of INR value is very alarming, as the cost of goods being imported from other countries will gradually increase. More alarming is the fact that the government is least concerned about this, and it is putting all the burden on the common man and also creating more division in the country every day. There is a saying that one hospital bill can bring one middle class Indian family down to a poor family. The immediate result of all this will be that petrol bill will increase tomorrow. If you want to bring down the petrol rate, then the central government should reduce the excise tax and the state government should follow the suit. Yes, the revenue of the government will go down, but this has to be obtained from rich businessmen and not the poor citizens of India. In this way, we can be true patriots only by questioning the government and putting force on the government to bring such economic policy change. Only this way can we save the reputation of the rupee, our country, and the life of the poor citizens of this country. That's it for today. If you like the content we provide, please subscribe to the Upfront and press the bell icon to get notification of all our updates. Please share our videos and educate others. Thank you.